Greetings, true believers. Max Scoville here for IGN. A brand new trailer dropped this morning for the upcoming Deadpool sequel, and we went over it with maximum effort to spot all the details you might have missed. The trailer opens with our first proper look at Josh Brolin in action as Cable and a look at the war-torn post-apocalyptic future he comes from, along with some gritty John Connor-esque VO about knowing pain. Those red lights around the necks of the people Cable is walking towards look like they could be inhibitor collars, devices used to suppress the powers of mutant prisoners in the comics. We'll come back to this in a minute. Meanwhile, here's the teddy bear we've seen in photos of Cable, which we still don't have a full explanation for. Some fans think this might be teasing the presence of Hope Summers, but others think it might be some kind of important keepsake for Cable. But given the amount of attention it's gotten, it's bound to get some explanation in the movie.
Wait, no, stop!
And we are not the only ones pausing the trailer. In case you forgot, this is first and foremost a Deadpool movie, so of course the merc with a mouth has to break the fourth wall and derail the trailer because Cable's CGI arm isn't ready, managing to make a crack about Henry Cavill's digitally removed mustache in Justice League while he's at it. So while Cable's arm is getting finished, Deadpool uses his action figures to give us a nice Toy Story-ish reenactment of Cable and Deadpool squaring off on the big screen. You know, that thing you were hoping to actually see in this trailer. Oh, Deadpool, you rascal. In the background, you can spot a familiar landscape painting which Deadpool painted in that last trailer for this still untitled Deadpool sequel. And there's Cable's arm, properly rendered. Time for some super fast shots with lots of stuff in them. Here are some bad guys in riot gear with DMC written on their equipment. Department of Mutant Control or Containment, perhaps? Based on these uniforms, it looks an awful lot like Cable is busting people, possibly mutants, out of prison or some other facility. Deadpool taking a brick to one of the proverbial men in white seems pretty on brand. He's clearly a bit worse for wear here, holding his costume together with duct tape. Here's Domino, played by Zazie Beetz, beating up another one of these guys. In the background, there's a propaganda poster reading Purity, Humanity, Infinity, themes that are in line with a number of anti-mutant groups in the comics, whether it's the Church of Humanity, Friends of Humanity, or the Purifiers. Also, their logo looks a bit like an X-Men symbol with the X removed, or kinda like the IGN logo, though clearly we love mutants. Negasonic Teenage Warhead has grown her hair out, as we saw in the last trailer. Meanwhile, a very casual Wade Wilson fights some goons off with a frying pan in what looks like his own apartment. Cable dukes it out with a large armored truck, also emblazoned with DMC, which certainly looks like it could be used to contain some mutants. The street sign reads West Hastings, which is one of the main drags of Ryan Reynolds' hometown of Vancouver, and also a city where they shoot a lot of movies because it's cheaper than in California. Here, somebody's gearing up, but that doesn't look like Deadpool's gear, and it doesn't look like Cable's arm. Whoever it is, that sword is very early 90s Rob Liefeld. Here we see Domino and Deadpool in the back of a chopper, but who's the guy on the right? A bald guy with a scar and yellow shades. Wait, they're not putting Agent X in this movie, are they? That's the first we've heard of it. And hey, the guy behind him looks a little bit like Shatterstar. We know there's an X-Force movie on the way, but it seems odd to introduce key characters by showing them in the background of a half-second shot in this trailer, though major characters in superhero films have been revealed in less ceremonious places, like Zack Snyder's Instagram. Oh, and hey, would you look at that? It's Julian Dennison wearing what is probably an inhibitor collar. Is he the person Cable's trying to break out of prison? Well, we don't know who he's playing yet, but he's great. While you're waiting for Deadpool 2, go watch him in Hunt for the Wilder People. It's directed by the guy who did Thor Ragnarok, and it's awesome. Here's our old pal Depinder, the taxi driver, who really should find new work. And now Deadpool is fighting one of the prisoners on what appears to be that same DMC truck. If Cable's trying to set these people free and Deadpool's kicking them, that seems like it could cause problems. Is this Cable being sent back in time? It's worth noting we don't actually know how the time travel will be handled on the big screen. In X-Men Days of Future Past, it was just Wolverine's consciousness that was sent back in time, so we haven't seen an actual time machine in these movies yet. Interesting. Here's Deadpool, also locked up in Prison Yellows, and then taking a flying leap at Cable. If Cable's trying to break people out, why would Deadpool attack him? Well, keep in mind it's Deadpool, he has his reasons, and they don't always make sense. Here's Domino firing a MAC-10 with a bayonet on it, and then Deadpool on the hood of a DMC Humvee giving us a lovely view of his behind, and that's Thurlow Street in the background, yet another street in Vancouver. Here's Deadpool's main squeeze Vanessa, TJ Miller returning as Weasel, Wade wearing a really nice shirt and giving his roommate Blind Al a little help with her aim, and one last shot of and at Cable, who, based on this trailer, is going to be one heck of a straight man for Wade Wilson's wacky wisecracks.
That's just lazy writing.
That was everything that jumped out at us in the latest trailer for this still untitled Deadpool sequel, which is out May 18th. What did we miss? More importantly, what do you think this movie is actually going to be called? Let us know in the comments, and if you want more obsessive attention to detail, let us break down the trailers for Avengers Infinity War and Solo, a Star Wars story. And for all of this summer's big, loud, stupid movies, keep it right here on IGN.